All right, so now when we go to the website, we are seeing this navigation. Perhaps you all are working on the back end. Um, I don't really have any issue with this picture because these words do show up very clear on there. But one of the things I would say is that the spacing left and right is not centered. So if you take a look at the get started on each side, it's not 100% um, centered, and explore programs is not centered as well. I noticed this with all of your buttons. So please make sure those things are centered. When we scroll down here, this box is not the same size and length as these other boxes. That needs to change. We did also ask you to provide all of the icons with being filled in. That was something that was not done here. This one still is not filled in. So that needs to be changed. As we are scrolling through, a lot of these icons are blurry. Now, I know that you were trying to bring in icons that matched from our previous website, but if we're going to do anything, it can't be blurry. And how do I know it's blurry? Because look, if you zoom in, it's blurry. That's just not a really good representation of who we are. So that needs to be fixed. In terms of the positions, we will be filling those in. So we don't like that's something that's easy that we can do on our own. Um, as as we go in, I am noticing that you don't have spacings here like you did before. As you can see, this line is touching this box, but here this line is not touching that box. That does need to be resolved. In addition to that, your boxes are not completely over the words. So as you see, the like this icon is further past the conquer, which is an issue, right? Evolve, it's not lined up in the middle. Discover is probably the only one that's correctly lined up. So those things do need to be resolved. Scrolling down, this is no issue. I will say if you could make this box around probably purple, that would be great. So there's a different color there. But besides that, looks great. Student outcomes looks great. Love this section. Thank you so much. This is much better. I do see that the Department of Defense is cut off. Not sure if you can fix some of those things. I also see Cisco is cut off as well, so not sure what we can do there. Um, but it's looking better, but obviously these things don't look great. If you need us to send replacement ones, we absolutely can send you replacement images. As for these, not an issue, but I do have an issue with what you like your icons that you brought in. They are blurry. There has to be some way to use other ones that are not going to appear as being blurry because these don't look right at all. They just don't. Also, when we have a name, we don't want the first letter of the name to be in here. Like these can be icons. They can be all the same icons. Or better yet, within this box or within this circle could be the person's whole name, but putting like the icon for their name or the first letter for their name just doesn't make sense. So my suggestion is to either replace with icons that are all the same, that's fine, or replace it by putting their full name into a shape and then having that shape be here. Up to you. But I do think that there should that like I'm not liking that. Um, this looks fine. I think we talked about that. This looks fine. But as I mentioned, again, your words within the boxes are not the same width. You can see that from my cursor, that those need to be centered. They really do. Um, Now I'm gonna go look at these, get started. Um, this is perfectly fine. I believe we had mentioned that. So I'm gonna also go back to explore programs. All right, looks like we go to start your journey. Um, Not the biggest fan of this, but it may do. Um, this is a repeat. This says holistic skill development. This says holistic skill development. We don't need two separate boxes here, right? So either need to like these words, um, yeah, we need to combine. Actually, get rid of all of this. Get rid of all of this, but keep this and maybe put it here. Yeah. I think we still may have a slight problem with, I don't know how this is going to look. Like once you get rid of this box, move this over, I think we should just have four boxes lined up. And I love this. So put the four boxes on top of this thing straight across and make this section smaller. Choose your pathway tier. We had asked for you to remove this. So we had said put tuition cost and then just that. That's what we had asked for. Yeah. And we also had asked for you to switch these around. So standard tier comes before career tier because this is cheaper, but we're okay with people selecting this one over this one. So this needs to go here. I believe we had asked for this to be a lighter purple, and it still looks like you have a dark purple here. So that needs to be fixed because the colors are throwing us off. Also, this yellow has to go. The yellow just doesn't work here. We also need to see lines. If we see lines here, that could potentially help with when we're trying to tell people to look across. Like the way we want people to read this is okay, the structure is capability, or the capability is structure. Achieve It offers role aligned pathways based on real job functions, but traditional programs only do topic based or certification focus. If you don't have the table looking right as how you read it, it doesn't make sense to people. So that could really help. Um, I guess we're not doing a title here, which is fine. Um, yeah. But again, these things are just so blurry. Like if you're zooming in, it just doesn't look great. Program journey, I believe you still have some little issues with these. Like this is not touching the line, this is not touching the line, this is not touching the line. But if you go up here, this is touching it perfectly. So you have to fix those things. Unfortunately, we're paying too much for you not to fix that. This section happens to be the darkest section that we possibly have on the website. Not saying it's a bad thing, but is there by any chance any other world type of image that's a little bit lighter? at all? Just asking. Um, I want these to be different colors. So orange, green, and purple or pink. Like, I don't like how these are the same colors. Accelerators. Yes. Way better image. Thank you so, so much. Um, this image doesn't look like a tech image. Is there any way we could replace this with something else? Anyways, moving down, this looks great. Thank you so much. I believe I had asked for these to be different colors. So like one to be orange, pink, and then green or something like that. If you can't change it, that's fine, but I think I had asked. Perfect. This is the part that gives me heartburn. This is way too big. Like sizes matter. Like the information in here is small. It's like super small for some reason. This doesn't stand out. This is not standing out to me at all. This is the name of the class that needs to stand out. Like the same type of like the formatting that you did for career pathways, we need to follow something similar, right? So like these icons I'm not liking for the bullets. They need to be something else. Not saying check marks, but they need to be something else. The spacing is also weird here. So these needs to be resolved here. This page could possibly just be okay. So like this is cutting into this, which is a problem. This is cutting into this, which is a problem. We need more pizzazz on this page, more color, more oomph, more emphasis. This is just plain and it doesn't like the words are big. It's just the same. Like this enroll now, this is just stuck, but then this one gets bigger. This one like these boxes, you see they're like right up on this. That's an issue. There needs to be consistency, but there needs to be more boldness. Frequently asked questions. Yeah, this is fine. Stop waiting, start doing. Da, da, da. Or else also the words. That is fine. So what I want to do too is let's remove where we keep saying 8 weeks. 8 weeks has already been said. So let's remove all these lines right here, right? Let's remove all of that. All right, moving into corporate training. Love this picture. So if you're gonna have pictures, like if you're gonna have this type of gradient, right? I think that everything else needs to mimic. Like when we get here, I need to see the same type of colors that you use here. Same with the homepage. I need to see that you use the same type of colors here for consistency. Um, this is fine. This box is shorter. And also, we talked about the icons needing to all be the same size. You need to change this one because this one was used elsewhere. They all need to be colored in. So you need to replace those. Industry partnerships. We had mentioned that this is not supposed to go here. We're supposed to have a CompTIA one. So let me go and search for you so that you're not confused when we're asking. CompTIA logo, right? So we want to have the CompTIA logo. This is the CompTIA logo. That's what we want to have. We want to have that we have a partnership with Microsoft. So we want to use the Microsoft logo. We also do have a partnership with Sire. So we want to use the Sire logo, right? We want to be able to use these logos, right? When we're looking up what to put here. Women Tech IT Consulting Group. We want to use Woman Tech. We want to use the logo. Our other partners, ISC squared logo. We want to use the logo. So we just need you to come in here and to replace these logos. This is fine. I kind of feel like these boxes could do some color. I kind of feel like it because this has color, so it's almost like we should have color here, like maybe a light purple or maybe a light green, a light orange. This is fine, even though I did ask for these boxes to be different colors, like green, blue, purple, orange. I know I did ask for that last time. Again, the things you have in the background are just super blurry. There has to be another way to replace that. These boxes are not the same. So, and these logos need to be centered for more consistency. These words need to be centered for more consistency. But these boxes need to be shorter. They don't need to be that long either. This is fine, but I'm trying to figure out why this box doesn't have color like these boxes. And they're all supposed to be like, if you ask me, I would have done them the same size, all of these boxes, because they're touching on the same things. So I don't know why two are like this, but then this one is like this. It just doesn't make sense. Ready to transform your teams? I like this. Thank you. Also, going back to the career pathways page, once again, we are missing that portion where there is a drop down. There used to be a portion that said like choose your role or choose your pathway. That box is gone. And I think that was supposed to go immediately after this or before. Let's um let's put it before this, right? So choose your pathway and then choose your pathway tier. It looks like you're missing that. Um, Again, blurry. I thought you said you were going to try to find images like this and be consistent across the board. I'm not seeing that consistency. I'm seeing that these are not consistent like that. Like these don't match those. Needs to be more consistent. Put clients on the same line as this. Doesn't need to be on its own separate line. Yeah. Not sure because we don't want people to like we want events eventually. Um, but not yet. Careers page. Okay, sure. All I see. Like we need to have diversity. Like we need to have black people. I'm just seeing whites and Asians. We need to have Indians on here. We need to have black people on here. We need to have Africans on here. We need to, have Hispanics on here. We can't just have white people. I'm seeing a lot of white people. This is supposed to say why work at Achieve It Pathways program, and it should go straight across. So please change that. And then Amanda should have sent you all we want to change this. So submit your resume, interested. We want to take people to Typeform. So we don't want this contact list anymore. We want to take people straight to a Typeform link. So they don't even need to upload their file here. So it needs to say interested in joining our team, fill out or submit an application. And then go a link or a button that goes directly to the Typeform contact page. Yes, this is much better. Um, Terms of what? It just says terms. I'm not liking this black. It needs to be a different color. It needs to be a different shape here. Maybe just a circle, like a cylinder, but not liking this. And then I just thought we had something a little bit different here. So, okay. So yeah, these things need to be changed, please. This is also small. I'm just not sure who's going to actually be able to read it. It needs to be bigger or it needs to not be there at all, to be honest. But it needs to be bigger because it's a call to action. Regardless, it's a call to action. So it needs to be larger. That's it. I'm really hoping that this website can get